Hello, I'm Naina Shah, Head of Green Tech and Circular Economy at Flow Chennai. Rethink, restore, regenerate, powering a circular future guided by the philosophy less waste, more reuse, and smarter choices. Flow Chennai is delighted to collaborate with EcoParadigm and Center for Excellence for Resource Recovery to advance the Sampurna Habit Certification, an initiative envisioned as a nationally recognized benchmark for livability and sustainability. This program aims to enable India's villages and cities to move beyond infrastructure led growth towards human centered, resilient, and thriving communities. At the heart of this initiative lies a simple yet powerful principle: segregation of waste at source, the cornerstone of effective waste management and reduction. Through targeted student led activities, we seek to foster awareness and inspire a lasting mindset shift within communities. Our focus areas also include e waste management with an emphasis on refurbishing laptops and bringing them back into the mainstream use. Sustainable technologies such as decentralized wastewater treatment system for water recovery achieved without dependence on electricity. Advocacy with the government and industry for energy efficient solutions including e-smart street lightings offering about 80% energy saving and efficient lighting system delivering up to 60% reduction in power consumption. Additionally, we have planned an experiential visit to a certified green building, enabling participants to witness sustainability in action. Through this multi pronged approach, Flow Chennai is committed to driving awareness, enabling action, and shaping a circular, sustainable future for all.
Morning. I'm Jyoti Agarwal, founder of the Legacy Project. It was a small spark in my mind, and our very first believer, our very own princess Vidya Singh Gajapati Raju joined, and it all seemed real. Dipali Goyal stepped in, trusting the madness without asking any question. And just like that, we were a dream team of three, and the madness began. What started off as a little spark looks like a fireworks full of fireworks in the sky. We are truly honored that we are launching in presence of epitome of grace and royalty, Her Highness Radhika Raje Gaikwad ji and Preeta ji Reddy. Their presence will definitely elevate our launch, and we are so thankful to the gracious Flow Chairman Amulya Rao and her team for seamlessly weaving in this event. To my Nanima, my dear friends and family, thank you for all your love and support. Gratitude is all I feel, and heart is full. Hopefully, TLP pockets will be too. TLP, the Legacy Project. The Legacy Project is a curated platform dedicated to celebrating heritage, craftsmanship, and timeless cultural initiatives. It brings together legacy brands, royal lineages, master artisans, and creates immersive experiences that honor tradition while engaging the contemporary sensibilities. At its core, Legacy Project is all about storytelling, uncovering the history, making the aspirational royal families real, and give us experiences of a lifetime. We'll also celebrate things that have always been only a dream. The idea is to make it come true. We are trying to also document and make cultural archives so that the legacies continue.
Truly shapes the future of a nation? Is it government? Is it industry? Is it policy? I believe it lies in the hearts of the over 700 million women in India. Because when women come together with a purpose, they don't just build networks, they shape the future. Hello, my name is Dr. Amulya Rao, and I am the chairperson for FICCI Flow Chennai. FICCI Flow is a nationwide organization with over 22 chapters pan-India and 16,000 members, out of which 1,400 are the vibrant members of our chapter in Chennai. The mandate of FICCI Flow is empowerment of women at all levels. We empower women at the grassroots through skilling. We bring more homepreneurs into the entrepreneurial journey, and we also certify more women as independent directors to join boards. If this resonates with you, we would love for you to join us on this journey of empowering women and shaping India's future.
Jyoti Thomas,
and I'm heading along with Harsha Sajnani for the wellness and life skills. This is a very new initiative which is not truly the clinical part of health, but this is an overall wellness where we connect with women, children, youth who are all 16 plus. The idea of life skills and wellness is to reach out to women to make sure that they are able to take it on to their livelihood skills. And the interesting part of this particular initiative is we collaborate with all the other initiatives. So wellness in terms of mentally, not the medical part, the goodness of how we take it forward, and where we can take the women in terms of career guidance. Everything comes under life skills and wellness. And this is going to be a great year for us at Flow Chennai 26-27.
I was quite overwhelmed actually, but you must forgive me if I don't bring out the complete depth, the beauty, the grace, and the way you carry the legacy with so much ease. So thank you for being there, and thank you all for the invitation. I've never interviewed a Royal Highness before, so if I'm not saying that it's much easier talking in a hospital environment with doctors, but now, in her presence, I think I'm like, it's going to take me a little bit of time. But having said that, I think it's one of the best things ever, and that the book was beautifully put together, so thank you for showing us those lovely slides, the women at Flows. Amulya, thank you for that. So Her Royal Highness Maharani Radhika Raje Gaikwad of Baroda, what a presence. And they say that the Royal Palace of Baroda is probably the world's largest single private residence. So it must be very hard to, I know all of us find it hard even to manage our own little infrastructure. But having said that, I'd love to hear from you, and I'm sure everybody here would. How do you do it with so much of elan, with so much of grace, and the thoughtfulness of carrying legacies forward? Maharani ji, could you just enlighten us on that?
Thank you, Preeta ji, for that lovely introduction. Thank you, Amulya. Thank you, Vidya ji, for having me. Thank you for showing up in such large numbers to see this interaction today morning. Coming back to your question about living in a house of that size and how daunting it may be. It is. I think we all as women understand what it is to run a household. And when that household is, 10 times or maybe 20 times the size of a regular house, and you have, and it's an aging house, it's about 130 years old. There are only 3 adults living in it. My 2 daughters are now away. And it's a beautiful home, but it's also, you're mindful of the fact that it's a museum quality monument, and you kind of trying to call it a home, but it has a very overpowering personality. It's like an aging old grandmother-in-law you're living with, and you're kind of working around that. So you have great respect for her, but she's also unyielding. So and has a very strong personality. So for the longest time, my challenge was, I would, as a young married girl, you want to do up the house the way you have imagined your own home and your kitchen, and you kind of put up souvenirs from your travel, and nothing would just go and fit in that house. So at some point, I just gave up. And but it has so much to offer in the space that it is, that it's been such a happy home for me, for my children. There's so many memories associated with that. Every corner has a memory, and it's so open and vast. It's a very large estate. My husband has created a beautiful golf course around, but we have wildlife there. We used to have jackals, we have porcupines, we have tortoises, we have birds, we have hornbills to ibis to owls, and dear sometimes, and it's to be living in that environment is very beautiful. You know, where nature and heritage are so beautifully coexist. And yeah, it's little like kind of you go back in time when you step into that space. So it's extremely challenging to look after a home with this kind of legacy, and you know that it's up to 2-3 people to keep this heritage alive for, you know, which represents India and craftsmanship and what vision India used to have, and save it for generations in the future to feel proud of. I think that sometimes feels daunting, but for most other parts, it's home, and we are very, very, you know, happy to call it home. My daughter who's sitting here, she still visits in a scooty. So from her room to the dining room or wherever, she does a scooty.
That says it well.
It's hard to explain it, but yeah, that's how it is.
I guess in a way you get your 10,000 steps then by looking after the house. Perfect. You were born a princess of Wankaner and now, of course, the Maharani of Baroda. Two extraordinary lineages. What does it truly mean to you to be a royal in today's India? Is it a title? Is it a calling? Or above all, is it a responsibility to carry a living legacy forward?
I think, Ritaji, it means very individual things to different people. I think for some it could mean a title, it could mean a heritage that, you know, their family has stood for, and a deep sense of identity emerges from it. For me, I take it very lightly. I don't refer to myself as a Maharani. Of course, if people refer to me, I accept it with grace. But I don't see myself in any capacity as a Maharani, because the title is defunct. I think if you know, continue to live in that concept of an identity which, you know, has been dissolved for almost 100 years. Well, 80 years, I think you will not be able to adapt and remain relevant. So I think for me the focus is that there is, yes, this great regard that people